Hello, welcome into the Addenda series where I will give you a quick but detailed overview over one specific addendum. So this video is going to be based on the addendum for property subject to mandatory membership in a property owners association. Okay. Now, this first thing I want to show you is that this specific addendum is not for condominiums. This is going to be for single family only. The condominium contract has the HOA information embedded into that contract. So we do not need this addendum for condominiums. They already have something for that. Any type of single family land, townhomes, anything like that, duplexes, tris, or quads that have an HOA, this document would need to be attached to that contract, okay? You would also signify that this document is going to be in use in paragraph 6 because you will mark yes for HOA or addendum for mandatory membership property association. You would mark yes in paragraph 6. You would also mark that you are adding this addendum to the contract in paragraph 22, I believe. So the document itself, there's a couple paragraphs in here, but it's all very basic information. So first things first is going to be the subdivision information. What we're talking about here are the actual subdivision bylaws and rules of the association. Who is going to pay for that? We're also talking about the resale certificate, okay? Who is going to pay for that? So in these boxes, the first 4 boxes, you got 4 options. Number 1, the seller is going to obtain, pay for, and deliver that subdivision information. Option 2, the buyer is going to obtain and pay for that subdivision information. Or the buyer has already received approved subdivision information, or the buyer is not requiring it. Those are your 4 options. Either the seller's going to get it, the buyer's going to get it, the seller already gave it, or the buyer does not require it. Okay, that's the first set of questions that's the first set of paragraphs that you are reading through. Who is paying for this subdivision information in the resale certificate? Again, the seller, the buyer, the seller already provided it, or the buyer is not requiring it. Okay, so now the bottom half, let me scroll down and block this out. The bottom half is talking about the material changes. Number 1, if the seller becomes aware of any material changes, if the HOA is going to take down half of the parks in that HOA, or if the seller finds out that the HOA is adding parks, if there's new assessments, or if they're blocking off a main entrance and they're going to go through construction to add a new one, if they're going to pull up all the roads and redo all the plumbing, if there are any material changes that the seller becomes aware of from the HOA, that it is just here and in writing and out there out loud that the seller must inform the buyer of those changes. Okay. The next thing that we're talking about are fees and deposits for the reserves. Very similar to an escrow account where at closing, the title company is going to collect property taxes and insurance payments for a certain amount of months to put into the escrow account that the lender will then keep and pay for the taxes and the insurance at the end of the year. Very similar. This is talking about an amount of money to put into the reserves for HOA fees, deposits, and anything like that. So the buyer, this spot right here is talking about how much is the buyer going to contribute. That could be $0, $50, $300, $1,000. How much is the buyer contributing to the required reserves? And then whatever is left over, the seller is going to take that on. Okay. And then the last part is the authorization. So this is kind of mimicking what's happening in the first section where who is paying for all the subdivision information or the resale certificate. But down here, we have to know officially who is giving the title company the authorization to charge which party. Okay. So if up here, if I click that the seller is going to pay for obtain and deliver, then down here, the seller is going to pay for the title company the cost of obtaining that information prior to the title company ordering it. Okay. But we have to give authorization. They have to have permission from everybody is signing here at the bottom. Everybody's giving permission. Call the buyer and get that payment. Call the seller and get the payment. Okay. Outside of that, that is it. Again, you only use this document if it is for single family or townhomes, duplexes, tris, quads that have an HOA, but not condominiums, even land. You can use this for land that's in an HOA, but not condominiums. Okay. All right. I hope this helps.